Military brats know the drill. Don't get too attached to a place because you're likely to leave soon. Such was the life for Reggie Robinson. So when it came time to head off to college, Reggie's choice of KU did not come from a long-standing connection.
I was leaving high school with an Army ROTC scholarship, and so the only absolute necessity was that whatever college I chose had to have Army ROTC. But when push come to shove, there were 3 guys from Salina. All 3 of them were going to live in Jayhawk Towers. They needed a 4th roommate. And I thought, I've been thinking about KU too, and that's kind of how I decided.
Reggie served in numerous leadership roles, beginning as a student at KU, where he was student body vice president and editor of the Kansas Law Review for the School of Law.
I think for him, KU at one time was an aspiration, and then it became an inspiration. And he just gave it, the university and all its parts, he gave it his all. Reggie was the best Jayhawk ever.
Near the end of my time in law school, I started talking to professors. How did you decide that you wanted to teach? What sort of process did you go through to settle on teaching as the thing you wanted to do? By the time I graduated from law school, I thought that I would want to teach. For me, I wouldn't want to be in this kind of environment and not have the opportunity to interact with students, just helping to have a positive effect on their lives.
Reggie began his teaching career as a faculty member in the law school, creating an immediate and lasting impact upon his students. After he returned to the Hill later in his career, he continued to teach in the University Honors Program.
I loved KU, I loved the law school experience. For me, I could tell right away, this is a match for me. One of the really important aspects of my experience as a student at KU and what made it so much fun to be a part of the faculty was that it was a law school environment where really good, high-quality teaching was valued.
Well, law school is kind of overwhelming at first. It's such a different method of learning, the Socratic method. But Reggie's class was a class where, I think everyone felt relief when it was time for his class, because even though he still used the Socratic method, even though he was still tough, he would actually joke with us. He had a way of making you feel comfortable.
The conversations after class, we would sit there and talk for 5-10 minutes after class, and I just truly enjoyed those conversations so much. And he always remembered, exactly what I had talked about last week, or exactly what my family's plans were for the game this Saturday. He really cared, and it showed in every single conversation he had with me.
Reggie's talents and interests broadened when he earned distinction as a White House Fellow in the U.S. Department of Justice, where he served as Deputy Associate Attorney General and Special Assistant to Attorney General Janet Reno.
Attorney General Reno thought he was just exceptional. One day she called me into her office just to tell me how grateful she was that somehow Reggie had gotten into the White House Fellows Program and gone to work for her.
After returning to Kansas, Reggie served as Chief of Staff to KU Chancellor Robert E. Hemingway, President and CEO of the Kansas Board of Regents, faculty member at the Washburn University Law School, Director of the KU School of Public Affairs and Administration, and KU Vice Chancellor for Public Affairs. The KU Black Alumni Network named him a Mike and Joyce Shin Leader and Innovator in 2017.
I used to always think that, both Reggie's heart and mind were sort of lined with Kansas and KU in particular. Higher education obviously was a passion of his, but so were a lot of other things. Criminal justice was a passion of his. Healthcare was a passion of his. It was what was ever good for Kansans he was interested in, and he was willing to offer his particular expertise and skill set.
As his career took many turns through the years, Reggie always made sure to stay true to himself and his family.
He always looked at the next corner, at the next milestone, at the next opportunity. And in fact, I think it was one of the challenges of his life to choose kind of where he spent his time. Reggie was at his core a man of faith and of family. Those 2 girls and Jane were the loves of his life, and he never made a move without thinking about its impact on them and whether it would be a building experience for them.
Reggie left the Hill to begin his dream job as CEO of the Kansas Health Foundation. Countless Jayhawks and Kansans will long remember his uncommon kindness, generosity, and grace. As the ideal servant leader and teacher, he cared deeply about people, and he will continue to inspire the best in those who knew him.
I think the mark of a great leader is you know that you aren't exactly training them, that it's the mentor relationship goes both ways. And I think one of the reasons he loves students was he learned so much from them.
I think a lot of times in just the college experience, we are pushed to focus on like leadership positions. And I think that what he really tried to get across to us was that you can be a leader anytime, any place, you just have to choose to be.
He was so impressive in terms of his career and all the different things that he did, but he was way more impressive for the human being that he was, for the soul that he had. And that's what really makes him special.